Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I want to join in and talk about the hashtag TarotTag15, which was once started by Arwen, and I saw this hashtag on a Hermits cave video, and I thought, hey, this is one very special and interesting hashtag, and that's why I took some time and wrote down all the questions for you in my little book right here. And let's begin. Question number 1: what is your current favorite deck? And this is a pretty tough question right at the beginning. My current favorite deck is actually the Crow Tarot, because I use it at the moment the most, but I think this will change in the next few days, because most recently I got the Line Strider Tarot and I'm so in love with the artwork. I've had this deck over a year now on my wish list, and I found it secondhand online, and I thought, yes, now it's time to get it. And yeah, this is my latest, newest current favorite deck, I think. So let's go to question number 2. What tarot card do you think stands for who you are right now? And I think this is the Queen of Wands, because this is, in the most tarot decks I have or I see, the card I relate to instantly and the most often. So it is in the Line Strider Tarot. I really like this version of Queen of Wands. And yeah, well, my sign is Leo, and the Queen of Wands is fire energy, so it matches this point. Yeah, but sometimes I also feel, especially in this deck, like the Four of Swords, the little break to recharge. I really like this card in this deck, and yeah, these are the two cards I relate at the moment the most with, but in general it's the Queen of Wands. This started with my first RWS deck, the Wheel of the Year Tarot. This was the first Queen of Wands I felt in love with and ever since, every deck speaks to me in a special way when I watch the Queen of Wands. Question number 3: what tarot card do you think stands for who you want to be? Well, especially in the Line Strider Tarot, I want to be the Temperance, because I want to get in the flow energy to realize my projects and become more creative. And yeah, that's why I want to be more like the Temperance. I'd like to be more in balance, and this is one thing I really need to focus on myself. And one very special card I found in the Line Strider Tarot is a Death card. I've never seen such a beautiful and hopeful interpretation of the death. I really like this black and white past, and I like to focus on the future and to create it in a bright and beautiful and evolving way. So especially with this deck, I'd like to be this death card. And at least the strength. This is one energy I'd like to be a bit more. I know some people tell me that I'm a pretty strong person, but this is something about this card which tells me it's not about strength, it's also about calmness, to be strength, and this is why I want to be more like that. So, next question, number 4. Draw a card and tell us how it answers the question, what does the universe want you to know right now? So let's just see which card came up. It's pretty interesting. Whoop. Okay, Page of Cups, but I wasn't really shuffling right now, so let's see what else. Okay, what does the universe what does the universe want you to know right now? At first we have the Page of Cups, the 6 of Pentacles, Page of Swords, and 10 of Swords. Ooh, okay, what is in the main energy? A Page of Pentacles. Ooh, a lot of page cards here. I think here is a lot of communication in order, and it all depends on your ability to communicate, to make decisions, and to accept or deny some offers. Just look in every message you get about an offer or something, look to every side of it if the balance is given about receiving and giving. With the 6 of Pentacles, it's pretty important to look what you give and what you get. And at the moment, it seems that you are a bit too short-tempered about the decision-making process, and this could lead to the 10 of Swords energy right here, to a death and to a loss in some kind of way. And if you are already at a point in your life where you think, well, this I couldn't handle, I'm at a low point right now, then just take a deep breath and reconsider what your abilities are, what can you do to change your life, and how can you be the architect of your own future again. This is what I see, what the universe wants to tell you right now. Just don't give and give and give. Be open to receive. And just look out for things which will the life offer to you. But be careful. Be careful what you want to accept and what you want to give as well. Next question. Do you have any cards that you must love in order to work with the tarot deck? And the general answer is just no. As I told you in the second question, I need to fall in love with the Queen of Wands. Well, my experience is just this is the most card I feel most related to in the most decks. And so for me, it's one card I look at first. The High Priestess is another card I will look up if I like her, but it's just not that important for me. If I love a deck or if I want to work with a deck is if I like the artwork, if I like the colors, if I like this theme as well. And I tend to reach out for decks just because of I saw a back of a card, or I saw the box. I don't need to see the whole deck to know if I want to purchase a deck or something, or if I love it or not. One thing, and this is important not only for tarot but also for oracle and so on, are the backs. If I don't like the backs of a deck, then I tend to not reach out for it. There's one oracle example. This is this one, and in English it's, just let me look. In English, the title is Medicine Cards, the Discovery of the Power Through the Ways of Animals. And I bought this deck just because this beautiful bear with this dream catcher, and I really liked it. And I must say, I do like the imagery of this deck, but one reason I don't reach out for it is this. I can't see any relation to between the backs and the fronts. I can't see anything. Well, it's the lightning symbol, okay. It gives you an idea, or I don't know what the artists or creators of this deck wanted to say with this. I don't know. And this back is really the main reason why I don't use this deck at all. I keep it because I like to have it in my collection, and the guidebook is pretty interesting in explaining the energies of the different animals. That's why I still have it, but I don't work with it properly. And it's pretty sad. It's just because of the backings of the cards. And I also had this opinion with a Spiral Tarot. It's also one of my most recent decks in my collection, and I just saw this box and the front and back picture, and I thought, well, yeah, it's in a color scape I like. The artworks seem nice, and then I got this deck and saw the backings, and it's the same with the medicine cards or animal cards. Well, the deck I showed you just now. And well, it's the fronts with the borders are pretty old-fashioned, but well, the imagery itself is pretty interesting. I really like it, but the backs are a problem for me. I don't see any relation. If this would have been purple, I could understand, then it would match the fronts, but it's like it's a whole another deck. I don't know how to explain that. And yeah, it helped in this case. It helped that I read the little white book and what the spiral symbol meant or means to the artist. So okay, I will get to know this deck, and I will work with it, and then we'll see if it works out or not. But as I saw them, my first thought was, well, this might be the first deck I will rear home of my tarot collection. Yeah, but we'll see. I'm just not there yet to decide if it stays or if it has to go. But yeah, for me it's pretty important that the backs are matching the whole deck in order to work with it or even to love it. Next question: why tarot and not some other divination system? Well, I like to participate in these tarot tube things, and I do use a lot of other divination systems than tarot. I don't work with tarot only, and I have so many different divination tools here that I really can't answer this question, because I love tarot but other divination systems as well. And I started, well, at first I had a tarot deck, but it was a Marseille deck, and I had a RWS book, so I couldn't match it properly. And then I was, well, okay, it's interesting to have, but I don't use it. And then I got a Lenormand deck, and I worked with this a lot. And Lenormand was my system. And then I got some oracles, and then I thought, well, oh, this is interesting looking, and it was the Wheel of the Year tarot, and I bought it, and it was my first RWS system deck, and I felt in love instantly, and this was the starting point of my tarot journey. So I began to combine Lenormand with tarot with oracle, and then it became a big obsession to collect different decks. And so it's now really the main part of my reading experience and reading practice. But there are so many other interesting divination tools I have. For example, here I have the Chinese Temple Oracle, and I really love this. I don't use this for my channel or in any video readings, but it's a pretty interesting thing to take with me to a party or to do it for myself. And I really like the Gummy Bear Oracle. I don't know if this is available in English. Just let me check. No, it's just German. Yeah, it's just German, but it's pretty interesting. It's an oracle where you pick out 5 gummy bears out of the bag, and then you look up the color code and you got your message. It's funny. It's a party thing. And well, I do have runes as well. I do have the I Ching, and of course some oracle dice. I use them nearly daily. I really like them. And yeah, many little treasures right behind me. Let's come to the next question. What's the first book you can remember reading about tarot? And this is this one. It's called Tarot, die wahre Geschichte, die Kraft der Karten. Tarot, the real story and the force of the cards. I don't know how to translate Kraft in this context. I think, well, in English you would say the real story and the magic of the cards. This would be the most sense in my eyes, I think. Well, it's a pretty cheap book, but it has enough and pretty good explanatory text in it, and yeah, it's a good source of information, and I really like it. I don't know how long this book lives with me. 1989. Yeah, I think I bought this book pretty new. It has to be 89. Yeah, I think I know this book since 1989 as well. Maybe 2000, I don't know. Maybe 2 years later since the publishing date. But yeah, this is the book I read first. Okay, next question. What person would you like to sit down with for a chat about tarot? Well, this is pretty simple, and but it's pretty tough to decide one person. I have 3. Actually, the channel The Hermits Cave inspired me a lot, and since I fell in love into tarot, I watch this channel. So of course, I want to sit down and chat about tarot with Simon. The other person I'd really like to sit down with and talk about all this is Pixie, Pamela Coleman Smith. I think this answer is also pretty obvious. I think the most YouTubers who create videos for this hashtag are giving Pixie as an answer. There is not that much information about her life and her art, because the most was lost in time, or is lost in time, I don't know. And this is what makes us all so curious about her. Well, at least me. I'd like to see so much more of her art, and I'd like to know so much more about her and her life and her perspective on art and creation decks and so on. It would be really, really interesting to sit down with her and chat about tarot. And there is one YouTuber whom I really like to sit down with, and this is Kayla from the Evolving Spiritually channel. I don't know if I have to talk about tarot with her, maybe about how tarot could help somebody in special times. But this is one person, if I watch her readings, I feel related to her, and I watch her videos to reflect myself and reflect my past and my experiences and how I grow out of all this stuff. And that's why I'd like to sit down with her for a cup of coffee or something and just chat about life. It doesn't need to be tarot, but she's a tarot person, so yeah, that's why I like to mention her as well. The 9th question is, tell me about one YouTube channel that you watch and why. Well, I mentioned Simon and the Hermits Cave, and this is a channel I'd like to talk about. I really, really like to see different art of decks, and the Hermits Cave is one channel with the most newest, latest videos about decks, or decks that are about to publish and so on, and that's why I like this channel, and I like to listen to Simon's thoughts about tarot or oracle or any topic which is related to this tarot tube stuff. I also like Lisa Papa's channel. This is one channel I watch quite often. I really like her happy energy and how she reflects on the cards and so on. So this is another channel I'd like to mention. Next question. How many tarot decks do you have right now? I have 95. Yeah, I do have 95 tarot decks. Oracle, Lenormand, all combined are more than just tarot, but I think at some point in the future I will have more tarot than other stuff. Yeah. Next question. Do you mix oracle and tarot when you read? I think I answered this already, and yes, definitely yes, I do mix this. I started with Lenormand and I added a little oracle and then tarot, and then due to this practice I got more and more into tarot, and so it came that I sometimes just read with tarot, and this just depends on the spread I'd like to do or the question which is asked and so on. And well, of course it depends on my mood. Yeah. The next question. Have you ever created your own tarot card or deck? Actually, I don't have created any tarot card or tarot deck, but I do have created my own deck. It's color coded, and it's just text messages on the cards. These are the backs, and I just created this because I thought it would be funny to have business cards which give a future customer a message. So I did some cards, and then when I got my business cards, I showed them on my Facebook page, and I started giving a few short spreads, 3-card spreads to different topics, just to try out if I could read with them, and they read pretty well. The thing why I mention this is it's obviously tarot inspired. For example, I do have a Sun card, I do have a Justice card, I do have a Moon card, Umbruch, change, is Tower inspired. I do have well, it's not the Magician, it's Zauberer. So well, yeah, in English you would say magician, but in German it's a quite different energy in this word. But yeah, it's related to the magician, but it's also Lenormand and Kippa influenced, I would say. Especially with the Mountainside card or the Fox card. And yeah, I didn't, as I created this, I didn't meant to create a whole deck, but it became to one because as I showed them on Facebook, people asked me, hey, do you sell this? And yeah, and I said, the first times I said, no, I don't do. But when the fifth person on a third day came up and asked me that, I was like, okay, if 5 persons within 3 days asking me if I sell them, I should do a plan about that and look if I could realize a project like this. And so it came that I have my own deck. But well, it's in German, and maybe I will do an English version or a second version of this deck, but I really would like to add some pictures on it and then make the cards a bit bigger or something. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. It's a maybe future project. Next question. Do you read for yourself? Yes. Yes, sometimes I do, or I just pull a card of the day or card of the week. I don't read big spreads for myself, just few little advices if I'm unsure in some moments. I mostly read for others. Yeah. Next is what are your favorite questions to be asked when you do a reading for someone else? I do readings to all topics, I think, but I really like if people want to grow out of their old skins. And this is related to my use for tarot. I really like to grow with the tarot, to evolve myself, and this is the kind of question I do like to do for others, and to reflect situations, to understand and to analyze. These are the kinds of questions I do. English grammar. How do I express that? Yeah, the questions I like the most doing for others are questions about analyzing situations, about growing yourself and something like that. And last but not least, what's the craziest thing that's happened to you during a reading? Well, one time, well, maybe you can see this because of the light, but my table here is right next to a window, and someday a bird came to my window while I was doing a reading, or in the winter I had a little ladybug living in my plants. So sometimes the ladybug came to my reading cloth and was walking over cards and something, or crawling up the window and so on. This was pretty interesting and funny, and every time this happened I mentioned it, and yeah, and gave the message of the animal, in this case ladybug. And oh, I don't know which bird it was. Maybe it was a dove, maybe it was a little sparrow, I don't know, I can't remember, but yeah, it was pretty interesting. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this little video and renewal of the Tarot Tag 15. I had pretty much fun with it doing this, and just let me know if you are doing a new video for Tarot Tag 15. I'd really like to watch that as well, and or you just give me a link to your video which you already had made, yeah, until next time. Bye bye.